This video contains spoilers for a lot of newer Super Mario Bros. Wii. I recommend that you play the game before watching this video. Welcome back to the series of Suffering for Your Entertainment. My video beating new Super Mario Bros. Wii without jumping did pretty well, and so I think it's time for the sequel. What better game to play than newer Super Mario Bros. Wii, which even though it's unofficial, you better believe that it is so freaking good. It introduces new bosses, new music, new themes, a connected world map without cannons, Wait, no cannons? That's right, in order to beat this game, you have to beat every single world, and every world has around 10 to 12 levels, and most levels are required, so might as well get started. The rules are mostly the same as my previous video, but if you haven't seen that, which you should, here are the rules. 1. No jumping. It's pretty complicated to explain, so the very brief explanation is that jumping requires the thrusting of your legs to increase your height. The main way that we move around in this video is spin jumping, because it actually uses your arms to get height, therefore it's allowed. Yes, I literally researched that for like an hour. 2. No power-ups that increase vertical height by a lot like the propeller or mini mushrooms. I didn't encounter the mini mushroom at all last video, but it would have made the challenge really easy, so it's banned too. 3. No force bubbling. In order to bubble someone, that person must die. And finally, number 4. No glitches. It's pretty self-explanatory. With that out of the way, I bet this can't be as hard as my previous challenge. Starting with the first level in Yoshi's Island, which every single level in this game has a level name, starting with Palm Beach. Let's go! So starting with Palm Beach, I was so excited to play this game because it's just so good. Like the graphics, the music, everything, just so freaking good. I've only played it once, but I have fond memories of this game. Crap, I softlocked myself. This is very much an introduction to what this game is. It already starts the game off with Yoshi, which even has new colors, that's pretty cool. It's a great thing that I can't use Yoshi at all though. Luckily, since this is the first level, it isn't too hard. Are you serious? Come on, this is the first level! I already have to pull out Luigi. Fine. This is a very common theme in this game. Most levels have a lot of impossible jumps with one person, but since I'm a pro at multiplayer from the World 6 Tower from last video, 2 people isn't that hard. Even the pipe is too high to jump to though, which is just foreshadowing the pain of my life. Yoshi Woods. This level was fairly easy, only needing 2 people for a few jumps. Although, that was a little risky. Springwater Swamp. This is the first level on a split path, so if it happens to be hard, then I can try a different level. These vines look tricky, but turn out to be easy. It was the next part with these barrels that was very tricky and I couldn't do it, so I turned to the other level. Growing Greenwood. This level has a bunch of really tight jumps scattered throughout the level. Since I'm an idiot, I tried to spin onto this Koopa, but the fire killed it. Thankfully, with my cat-like reflexes, I didn't die. This level also had these giant bonsai tree things, and they're pretty cool. For the final jump, I grew a tree and had to jump up it. Timber Tower. Towers are notoriously difficult when not jumping, since they're like vertical and most jumps are too high to spin up with one person. Luckily, this level was super nice and decided to be mostly made out of the honeycomb wall things from Super Mario Galaxy, which you can spin off of. Even then, there were a handful of jumps that were impossible alone. I also took a pipe which led to a star coin expecting it to take me further in the level, but nope. Now for the boss. Newer Super Mario Bros. Wii is super cool since it added completely new bosses. The first boss is a really big fuzzy, which wouldn't be too hard, but I suck. Fuzzy Canyon. This level is part of the type of level where there's no ground, only bridge. Luckily, this level was very easy, and even though there was a scary part here, I beat it first try. Rainshed Pond. Yay, an underwater level! I did cover that swimming wasn't jumping last video, but I didn't cover that you can jump out of water for, like, obvious reasons. I wouldn't have to mention this yet, but I suck at games and barely beat this level. Switch Shift Grove. The next level was a split path, and I decided to go with Switch Shift Grove. Yeah, that one. The next level was a split path, and I decided to go with Switch Shift Grove, where you have to press a bunch of switches to make it to the next part of the level. This part looked hard with all the piranha plants, but since the slope is really wacky, I was easily able to kill them and bounce up to the next section without getting that star coin for obvious reasons. This section isn't too hard, just remember to bring a power up in order to damage boost through this thick boy. Creep Crack Castle. This level has a bunch of falling meatballs, and in my opinion, the best texture in the game. Just look at it. It definitely took the most amount of time and it looks super crisp. The main point of this level is the meatballs that chase you down corridors and the thwomps. There are also these blocks that can be broken by both of those. This section wasn't hard as long as you have a power up, but it was also easier without a power up, so I guess either way you want to have a power up at the end of it. Then it was time for the return of Fuzzy, and boy, this boss gave me a lot of trouble. The Fuzzy is way bigger, so you have to be at the top to throw the purple blocks at it, but you can't throw them while spinning, so I died a lot here. Derelict Airship. Every world also has an airship that you have to complete in order to move on. This first one uses a lot of spinning thingy-mabobs, which isn't too hard until this section. Since I had to focus on not accidentally jumping out of the water along with controlling the second player, it took a few tries. Then I beat Iggy first try. Cactus Cove. The first level in World 2 is pretty easy. There's this one spot where you have to bounce on a Koopa, then Luigi to make it up the hill. But I did figure out that you can kill the fire things with a barrel, pretty cool. At the end of the level, you go into a chunky pipe which leads to the middle section of the world, which is an underground sewer. Gushing Gutter. Since I tried to be good at this level, I ended up failing miserably. Not much new there. This level is also full of those undercooked muffin platforms, which I was hardcore struggling on, which they're not even really that hard. Just take your time. The second half of the level was way easier than the first half. I took my time on the muffins and easily did it. Cascade Chasm. I don't know why I picked this level. It's an auto-scroller, which is automatically a bad sign. I followed the coins and it almost got me killed here, which ultimately led to my death anyway since auto-scrollers suck. But this level was miserable. It was a slow level and I kept trying to go fast, which led to me dying a ton. After reaching the checkpoint, the level isn't much better. The platforming isn't bad, it just takes a while. But come on, you can't even call this death my fault. It was a stupid camera. Drip Drop Drains. The next level would be the tower, but I'm not good, so I game over and had to go back a level. I really didn't want to play the last level again, so I decided to play this instead. I don't know why. And let me just say, these two levels were not good. An auto-scroller or a partially underwater level? Yeah, no thanks. But I do have to play them. I was overcomplicating this first part by a lot. I thought that you have to put Luigi at the tiny pipe and jump on him, but when you carry someone while swimming, you float. So by swimming kind of precisely, I was able to get up onto these moving pipes. These jumps were also not the hardest, they were just a little precise too. Since I can't jump out of water, I did have to do some fancy shenanigans to get the checkpoint. The second half was really easy though. Pipeline Tower. Now this is what suffering feels like. The gimmick of this level is a wraparound effect, which is pretty cool, but it kinda sucked. Also, since it's a tower, it's all vertical, and I think you know what that means. Before we move on, I think it's time to introduce the sponsor of today's video, Propeller Blocks. Okay, just kidding, you know no one would ever want to sponsor me. Kind nudge to sponsor me. But what I do know is that the propeller blocks saved my life in this level. But before we get to them, I think it's important to explain the level itself. This level is full of pipes, and every single one you can go in, but this is also your standard pain machine. It's full of a bunch of really big jumps, which isn't a problem until the checkpoint. Before the checkpoint, you can take a propeller block and it's easy, but in order to get to the checkpoint, you need to get more height than a propeller block can take you, so you have to sacrifice a block in order to get Luigi up top. Still not a problem though, since for a while you can continue with only 2 people. But then you reach a chunky pipe and you need 3 people. Still not a problem. The main problem is right after that. Even with 4 people, you can't jump that high, which is where I was stumped. I took a break to think, and eventually I came back with an idea. Now to explain the propeller block. You might be thinking, Jello pudding, the propeller block is the same thing as the propeller mushroom, blah blah blah, I'm stupid and hate children. I bring you back to the rules. Power-ups, such as the propeller and mini mushrooms, aren't allowed. This is simply a block that makes you spin. Anyways, the propeller blocks are really weird, especially in this level. First off, you can stand on them and make an infinite stack of propellers to go really high. But my dumb keyboard has a limit of how many keys I can press at once, so I was limited to only 2 propellers at once. Still, I could go very high with this. Second, the propeller block hitbox is bigger than Mario's hitbox, so the meatballs actually just bounce off of you and don't do anything. Finally, you can jump on someone's head to reset your spin as long as the player you're bouncing on touches the ground. It's kind of confusing, but here's a demonstration. With this newfound knowledge, I was ready to begin again. I started by picking up a propeller with Luigi holding 1-2. Then I almost went to the checkpoint where I learned that you can kill the meatballs by bouncing the checker blocks beneath them. Then I had to do the really complicated thing to get a tiny bit more height to make it over the pipe to the checkpoint, which you can't even use. Since there are no more propeller blocks at the checkpoint, you have to start all the way from the beginning in order to get more. Using Yode and both of the propellers, I was able to do whatever this was and make it all the way to the boss, which is a giant thwomp. It's like the final Bowser fight for Super Mario Bros. 3, which meant it was pretty easy. And with that level out of the way, it is time to chill. Okay, that's all the chill for now. Barrel Band wins. After last level, this level is really easy. Well, I mean, the level was actually just easy in general, seeing as I one-shot it. Searing Sands. This level was not easy. It was annoying because it brought back everyone's favorite flaming ball of incandescent mass, the Angry Sun. Also, don't ask why I suck, I don't know. And for some reason, the Angry Sun showed up for the last part and almost killed me, which is good times, good times. Pillar Pass. This level had a bunch of pillars that you pass through, hence the name, Pillar Pass, makes sense. Luckily, all the jumps are 3 blocks high, so they are very easy. I did think I died here, but turned out I accidentally found a secret. After coming out of the secret, this part was a little scary, but definitely doable. The level after that was pretty easy. Pyramid Castle. This whole level is so cool. First off, it's a pyramid. Second, it has all these buttons that you press that bring the enemies alive from stone. It's like reverse Medusa. That means that some of the enemies can be skipped by not pressing on the buttons, but that can be a challenge sometimes, because they're directly in your path. Also, I didn't know that this platform goes back down, so I almost died. I almost got stuck here, but luckily I could kill Luigi from that dry bones to make progress. Now for the checkpoint. In this section you are supposed to run to the right quickly, then jump in order to not get crushed. This was a problem for obvious reasons. I found that I needed to skip that switch entirely and go super fast so that I could have both Mario and Luigi for this switch, because I had to go super fast so the platform wouldn't get so far apart where I couldn't jump across. Then I just had to beat the thwomp again and it was over. Sand Ship. Once again, the airship was the easiest boss level ever, and I completely one-shotted it with the only slightly difficult jump being this one at the start. Chomp Roller Heights. The first level in World 3 introduces the best power-up to ever exist in a Mario game, the Hammer Bros suit. For some reason, you can spin while carrying someone, and if both of you have a Hammer Bros suit, you both shoot hammers, and you can shoot 4 hammers at once, which is super broken. Also, the hammers can kill literally any enemy, so yeah. Anyways, this level was very easy, with the only hard jump being the last one where I had to sacrifice Mario. Grimy Mole Mine. This level wasn't too hard, but I did a few stupid things since I'm not good. This level only took 2 tries. Burn Blaze Tower. I bet the newer team wouldn't put 2 hard towers in a row, right? Oh man. I thought I was going to need 3 people to beat this level, but it turns out that I actually needed 4, so let me break it down. Assuming you watched my first no jump video, you should know the basic idea of carrying people and creating a chain of people to jump up. Luckily, using 4 people is just enough to trigger Blowed to die, which allowed me to move to the next section. This whole tower is full of switches that reveal the next section, which could possibly be skipped with a 4-person tower, but I decided to do it the intended way. It did look pretty tricky here with all the spikes on the wall. Oh, I guess this won't be that tricky then. Just another player tower and I'm at the checkpoint. After the easiest difficult jump of the level, the rest of the level was very easy. It was an auto-scroller that went down. Pretty hard to lose, you don't even have to jump. Then it was time for the boss. Like always, I struggled with a normally easy boss. In order to damage the Rocky Wrench, you have to ground pound. That's a problem for an obvious reason, but then after you damage it, it throws wrenches all over it, which will probably kill you. So to solve the first problem, you have to predict where the boss will go. It isn't too hard since it can be kind of manipulated. The boss will always go furthest from the player, so with one person on the opposite side to the other, it's not too bad. Or I guess just get lucky like me. Fungi Pit. This level was super easy up until the checkpoint, then there were some problems. I overcomplicated the heck out of this part. I originally thought I needed 3 people, 1 in a bubble off to the right, then the other 2 carrying each other in order to barely get enough height to reach the platform. Maybe it turns out that you can just spin jump with Luigi and it's easy though. I don't know. Then there's this little maze which isn't that hard. Slanty Shroom Road. So easy that I 2-shotted it. Molten Wire Castle. This castle's an auto-scroller that needs 2 people. There are a few hard jumps here, but it's mostly easy. Just don't mess up the stupid boss fight because you suck. Cap Shroom Airship. And keeping up the theme of pretty easy airships, we have the World 3 airships that took like 3 attempts. World 4 is super cool. It's themed like Japan, so it has all of these bamboo plants, Shy Guys, and buildings called Wayo Konchiku. Sorry, I'm not Japanese. Bamboo steps. The first level turned out to be really easy, and although the second half looks scary since it was an auto-scroller, it was actually very simple. Funny enough, I had a harder time with the very final jump than the rest of the level. Cherry Falls. This level was really frustrating, but luckily it was on a split path. Flip Block Orchard. This level is way simpler than the last one, and it only took 1 try to beat. Petal Lake. This level was also shockingly easy and only took 1 try. Blossom Tower. Well, the first half of World 4 has been going super smoothly, and what are the chances that the newer team would put 3 hard tower levels in a row? Man, come on. First half of the level, super easy. It took like 4 minutes. Second half, 35. I mean, it's not terrible, but this level was certainly frustrating. It was mostly filled with jumps that are too high for 1 person, so I had to manage 3 people. And it looked like I was going to get through the level, so I made it to the boss fight really quickly. This boss is super cool. It even comes down from the sky and slashes Kamek since it's a Shy Guy samurai. What this boss does do is charges at you with its sword, then you have to jump on its head and... oh crap. Yeah, no, the main reason this level took a while was the time limit. In order to have enough time to beat the level, I had to zoom. There was no time to be wasted, and in the end, I had around 60 seconds left. Vine Chasm. This level is practically all over a giant pit, so in theory it would be hard, and it turns out that this is correct. Well, at first. It turns out this jump that I was struggling on actually had a secret platform below it, which made the level very easy. Rooftop Hop. This level felt like a normal Mario level even without jumping, so I guess that's good. Thunder Bridge. You know that stupid cloud from Mario Kart that makes you small? Yeah, I didn't really remember it either. Well, good news, now it's got its own level. Only problem? If you're small, then when you get hit by the thunder, you turn into Mini Mario, which is banned. So don't do that. Especially, don't do it at the end after having to suffer through the whole rest of the level. Samurai Castle. This castle was full of the swinging hammer platform things that nobody knows the name to, and another fight with the samurai guy. Thankfully, the timer was not tight. Nutscrew Airship. Finally, an airship that broke the trend of being super easy. Just kidding, sort of. It was mainly really easy, I just happened to not have enough lives to beat it. Then at the end I had a clutch boss fight against, I think it's Lemmy? Snowfield Tundra. Starting World 5, we have Snowfield Tundra. This level was not hard, I just suck. I died a lot in this level since there were a ton of off-screen penguins and falling icicles that kept killing me. Snowball Field. It wasn't that hard, but it had a completely impractical trick with this block of ice. It literally takes more effort than just bouncing on each other's heads, but requires the same amount of people. Frosty Highlands. This level has a bunch of moving platforms and giant snowmen. You can't jump on the snowman. I tried. It wasn't a really hard level, it just had a few jumps that I kept messing up. What are the chances that the newer team would make 4... Wait, hold on. I'm getting feedback from the audience that I'm overusing this joke and that I should stop. What are the chances that the newer team would make 4 really hard tower levels in a row? Apparently 100%! Crystal Frost Tower. This level starts out pretty simple. Okay, it's an auto-scroller. Off to a bad start. But look, there are those climbing wall things that I can spin off of, so maybe this won't be too bad. Oh, I can't jump off those platforms. Luckily, I can go the other way. Wait, I need to get up these platforms, but I can't jump that high. Luckily, there's a dry bones right next to some more climbing walls. I think at this part I need to run over to that lower part and pop Luigi. Got it, nice! Ooh, there's the checkpoint. Don't mess up, don't mess up, don't... Crap. Let me do that again. Come on, don't mess it up. Please, please, please. Yes! Wow, that was really close. Alright, now what do I need to do? Let's see. Climb up these walls carefully. I guess you can't spin onto those walls. Looks like I'm gonna need 3 people. Okay, I got 3 people. Jump, jump. Nice. Now don't mess up, Jello. Crap. Okay, good. I didn't mess it up this time. Okay, I need another player. Go, go, go. Ah! No. Dang it. I need another person. And I'm back with multiple people. And it's good. Boom, at the boss. Speaking of, the boss is pretty easy. You only have to kill one of the blobs, and even though you can jump with Yoshi, there's a small window where the boss is able to be hit from ground level, and boom, first try. Molten Ice Lifts. This level was full of balance platforms, which gave me some flashbacks, but luckily they were much easier than last time. And with that, we enter the volcano. Penguin Heat Bath. Since we are now in a volcano, shockingly there's a ton of lava. But these levels were pretty easy for the most part, but look at that clutch save by me. The only difficult part of this level was after the checkpoint. Once again, getting flashbacks to World 6 of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I had to keep bubbling people to get across a stupid 1-block gap. Then I figured out that with Big Luigi, I was able to barely spin and grab the ledge. On to the next level. Magma Ice Burrow. This level was super easy and I had no problems at all. Glacier Lava Lake. The start of this level was a floating ice cube traveling through lava. Makes sense, I know. It wasn't very hard, and neither was the second half. It was just stupid ice physics making me die more than necessary. Chilseer Castle. For the castle, we arrive out of the volcano, so there's no lava, only ice and spikes. For this part, just make sure to carry someone so that way you can float in the water. Then they can spin and reach the checkpoint. Also, for some reason, and only in this level, the player bubbles have a different sprite. It's not that they look bad, I'm just confused on why it's only in this level. After this little water section, you can pop Mario and he can bounce on Luigi to stay alive. Then after another easy fight with some blobs, it's time for another airship. Snowdrift Airship. Can you believe it? An airship that was actually hard. I know, I can't believe it either. It was super easy until the last part, which there's this giant wall of fire, which isn't that hard, but right after is a bunch of homing bullet bills, which have super awkward hitboxes that led to me dying a bunch. After enough tries, I was able to beat it, and Wendy was easy afterward. No! Bone Chill Shaft. Moving out of World 5, it's time for World 6, which I don't know whose idea it was to theme an entire world around ghost houses, but it's a cool idea, I guess. Starting with this level, it was mostly easy, with the only difficult part being this icy elevator at the end. And hey, what a handy secret! Pumpkin Road. Starting off with this level, how did I find that hidden block? I don't know. Luckily it helped me out. This level was super easy, just ground pound the pumpkins to get through. Fog Cemetery. This was a funny level. You can ground pound on top of the graves to go beneath them, but they don't make you progress, so it's kinda useless. Also, after the checkpoint, I accidentally found the secret exit. Whoops. It doesn't help me progress though, so I had to beat it the normal way. This is one of the easiest levels in the whole game though. Spookloft Tower. Blah blah, what are the chances that I have to beat another hard tower? Blah blah, who would have guessed it's a 100% chance. Alright, is anybody shocked that in order to beat this level I needed more than 2 people? Yeah, I didn't think so. Right off the bat, we're getting into some 3-player action, which is barely high enough to kill Luigi and Yod. Then spawning them back in, I can jump up to the next section. Then there are these 2 bruisers, and I can take them on a dance to jump up a few platforms. Okay, pause. Can I say that these platforms are super weird? When they're turned as much as they can, you can't walk up them, but you also can't fall down them. Now I had to do some slight unaliving to jump up to the next section, which was the easiest part of the whole level. Then I needed 2 people to get up this elevator, which was actually pretty hard. There are more bruisers, and I suck at fighting bruisers. Luckily, I was able to make it to the checkpoint after enough tries. Originally, after the checkpoint, I thought 3 people was gonna work. I needed to flip these switches to open up the paths, but then I couldn't get Yo to die to get up to the elevator in order for it to start moving, so I guess I need 4 people. Bringing 4 people in, I was able to take Mario, Luigi, and Yod up the elevator, then do a kind of precise triple bounce to just barely let Blode get deaded. Then the elevator started moving and I had to press some switches. At the end of the elevator, there were some more bruisers, and I was barely able to live. Unfortunately, Mario ended up at the bottom, and I somehow had to play with Luigi, Yod, and Blode, but none of their controls are as comfortable to play with as Mario, so I ended up timing out on this attempt. After leaving Blode at the bottom, it was exactly the same as the first elevator. Then it was easy into the boss, but I only had 57 seconds to beat it. But this was my first try, and I died. On my next try, I was ready, and I had 134 seconds, almost 3 times as long, and it was going good. In order to beat the thick boo, you have to throw light blocks at it, and I managed to do it. Well, kind of. Turns out there's a tiny window where after you hit the switch to end the fight, you can still get hurt by the boo. Guess how I found that out. On my next attempt, I did it right. Well-lit manor. I hated this level. It's a ghost house, which I was surprised to not have any up until now, but this specific ghost house has 3 sections. The first section wasn't too hard, just a single jump needed 3 people. The third section was very easy, with just a bunch of jumps and moving light blocks. But wait, I skipped section 2. That's because it was really hard. It had a bunch of light blocks moving around in circles, which made a lot of the jumps really hard. And then there was this part with a bruiser. Yay. Moonlit Woods. Remember that level with the angry sun? Well, now it's time for a level with the upset moon. This level had some jumps with the chocolate cake platforms, but it actually turned out to be super easy. Caw Treeway. I'm pretty sure there are some qualifications for a Mario game to be considered a Mario game. First, it needs a level with a bunch of crows flying in from nowhere. This is that level. That level was actually pretty easy, but something funny happened. I took this green pipe in order to skip a few jumps, but it turned out that trying to be smart got me killed. The rest of the level was perfectly fine. Delusion Castle. This castle was a ghost house, so it was full of boos. It also had a bunch of platforms that alternated when you could stand on them. With some careful timing, it was pretty easy. The boss against the boo turned out to be harder than the rest of the level. Shipwreck Galleon. Once again, the airship, water ship I guess, turned out to be the easiest level of the whole world. Most of the ship was underwater, and the parts that weren't didn't require any jumps. Then the fight with Larry was easy, just a little scary. Shy Guy Peaks. World 7 starts by reintroducing the Shy Guys. This level also turned out to be really easy. Paratroopa Peaks. Alright, what can this level have that I can't overcome? Oh, it's kind of a fast auto-scroller. Oh, it has a bunch of really high platforms that I can't reach with one person. Dang. I had to carry Luigi and bounce over some Koopas, then precisely bounce on that Koopa, then Blode, then Pop Yod, then spin with Luigi to barely live. The rest of the level was super easy. Beanstalk Ascent. Shockingly, in a level called Beanstalk Ascent, you ascend beanstalks. This level wasn't too hard as long as you brought 3 people for this one section, but what is super cool is that the background of this level gets darker as you go up, because at the end you go to space, and you know what that means. Low gravity, woo! I bet the rest of this world would be super fun and easy. Space Dust Heap. Oh boy, a level that is open with low gravity. You know what? I'm not even gonna commentate, just watch the level. It was so cool. Electron Tower. Since I'm in space, a vertical level should be super easy. Oh man, there's no gravity. But shockingly, this level was actually easy. The only slightly difficult part was the boss fight, since it can be a bit unpredictable, but I beat it by repeatedly throwing Luigi into it, then getting lucky. Starhaven. Since we aren't inside, I bet we'll be in low gravity again. Nope. Great. This level made me very sad, since OBS stopped recording and I didn't know until I beat it and like a few levels later, so I went back to beat it again, but I don't have any of the footage where I died a lot, but I can say this part was hard. You'll just have to trust me. Starfruit Garden. In this level, there's conveniently a big and a really big Goomba right next to each other, which is just enough to get 3 1-ups every time I played this level. Now, I didn't grind 1-ups, which I guess if I got stuck in the future I could've, but I didn't. There was this part with 3 piranha plants and pipes, and I was not doing good there. Luckily, if you go up to get this star coin, you can reach these platforms with the coins and skip the section. Nova Star Castle. Remember the 15 or so 1-ups I collected last level? Yeah, they come in handy here. In fact, so handy that I probably couldn't have beat the level without them. To begin, I found another requirement for a Mario game to be considered a Mario game. A level with unpredictable falling meteors. This is that level. How meteors fall inside a castle? Well, I don't know. The reason I needed these 1-ups was because there were 10 jumps that I couldn't reach with one person, but after every jump, Mario had to die. Super fun. The rest of the level wasn't too hard. Spaceship Koopa. This was definitely not the hardest level, but it might be the hardest boss ship. It starts out with this jump that is pretty cool if you do it right, and it means that you get to keep your power up. Then I jumped over a fire shooter thing and ground pounded some more crates. Then there were these circle spinning platform things that weren't too hard. I just didn't know that you could jump from the first to the second. Turns out you can. After figuring that out, it was time for a boss fight against the best Koopaling, Ludwig. And after taking a launch star from Super Mario Galaxy, it was time for the final world. Battalion Frontier. This world gives Super Mario Bros. 3 vibes since it has a tank level. For some reason, these tanks were infested by rocky wrenches and polluted gas, but in this challenge, polluted gas is literally the least scary thing since I automatically get rid of it by spinning. The only problem with this level is that it's frustrating. Nothing is necessarily hard about it, there are just so many bullets and places to die that it took a while. Jet Airship. When I was writing the script for World 7 Airship, I had to change a single word. In the script it says that it might be the hardest boss ship. The reason I said boss ship was this level. This level took 2.5 hours, which takes the cake for the most amount of time to beat a level in this game. The only thing is that I didn't really spend the entire time beating this level. Let me explain. I was struggling to get to the checkpoint because of these jumps here, but there did happen to be nice switch blocks that weren't activated since I hadn't been going out of my way to get the 4 switches. So I backtracked to get 2 of them. The first switch that I got was the blue switch in World 7. It was an anti-gravity level and super fun. Definitely one of my favorite levels in the whole game. The second switch was the red switch in World 5. This one was not fun to get. In order to get to the switch, I had to play Frostbite Ridge and Snowfall Peaks. The levels weren't notable or hard really. They just took a while to beat. But with that, it was time to actually attempt the hardest level so far. Believe it or not, the strategy for this level is even more precise than Paratroopa Peaks, so get ready. Pick up Luigi and get him a fire flower. Jump on this cannon and then make sure to kill all the rocky wrenches along the way just to be safe. Then run and make this very precise jump and breathe. Okay, stop breathing. You don't need it. Then jump along these circle platforms, then up this cannon, then this one, and now be careful. Do an epic save and make it to the checkpoint. Those last few jumps were the reason I got the 2 switches. I couldn't do it without them. Now for after the checkpoint, which I'll let you know took an hour, so how did I do it? First, I needed 3 people. I tried it with 4, but it was just too much chaos for me to handle. To start, I needed to bring Yo to the very edge, then carry Luigi and bounce up to the screw and do a very tight jump. Then bounce on this cluster of cannons, then up top from this big cannon, which is super important. Then run and jump and sacrifice Mario, and please don't die the rocky wrenches because that's embarrassing. Then reach this blue platform and pop Mario, then pick Mario and make it here. Now here is where the problems arise. And the problem is that I use Luigi to reach the second platform, but then I'm alone and I can't reach the next platform after that. What I thought could possibly work was use Luigi for the first jump, then pop Yod for the second, but there just wasn't enough time. And eventually I had to stop. Not because I was getting mad, but because I was getting a haircut. I know, how dare I, but my hairstylist asked me to get the snow off of her car since it was snowing really bad, and while doing that I was alone and able to think. I thought, and I eventually thought of 2 ideas. First, I could keep trying to use Luigi, then pop Yod and bounce on the bubble, or I try to land on the screw and jump off of it. So guess which I went with? Neither, duh. Watch. Right there. I bounced from underneath the screw and pushed it closer to the wall, which was just enough space to jump up. Then I did it again, and give me a minute. And no! Okay, please, this time, please. Yes, 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 yes. I did it! Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. After beating this level, I was so pumped up. I freaking did it. Now what could the rest of the game bring that's harder than that? Burnstone Flow Falls. Thankfully, this level wasn't too hard. It had the standard challenge of a level in World 8, but this final jump was very tricky. I had to do some damage boosting to get lucky in order to dodge the fire, but I mean, come on. Compared to the last level, this was so easy. Factory Tower. What are the chances of another hard tower? Oh my goodness, 100%. Who would have guessed? This tower is full of pipes that shoot bombs. The cool thing, these bombs you can bounce on. So knowing that, I brought 4 people in and did this for the first jump. Carry Luigi and bounce on Bloat, then balance with Mario and move Bloat out of the way. Then use a bomb to get Mario and Luigi up to the hidden vine. Then without seeing what's going on, bounce Yod up to the vine and kill Blode. Then bounce Mario and Luigi up here and do a cool swoop with Yod, then bounce Mario and Luigi up there, then accidentally pop Blode and get him up there too to get Mario out. Then kill Blode and Yod and use Blode to reach this platform barely. Then I could use Yod and Mario to get Luigi up to here and pop Blode to get up there. Then use a conveniently placed spike wall to kill Mario and Yod. Then pop Mario and Yod again, then pop Luigi and keep balancing Mario and Luigi onto this conveyor, then kill Yod. Then pop Blode and bounce up to a safe spot. Use Yod to bounce up to a higher one, mess up, then pop Yod and Blode. Whoops, I killed Mario. Okay, pop Luigi, then carry Yod up. Oh, crap. Give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute. Whoa, hold on. Slow your roll. Now use Mario and Luigi by bouncing on Blode and throwing Luigi up to here. Kill Mario and Blode, then pop Mario and bounce up here. Kill Luigi, then pop Luigi and bounce Luigi up and kill Mario. Then use these conveniently placed bombs to create a chain of popping and killing people to reach the pipe. Woo! I made it to the checkpoint. Now, I don't know who decided to make the second half of this tower the way they did. Boy, I was not a fan. It turned into sort of like a mini puzzle, but I already hate puzzles, so yeah. What I had to do was bounce on this bomb, then bounce on Luigi to throw the bomb to break these blocks but still live. Then I could create a chain of people to all reach the next section. For this section I needed to get a bomb up to the top right, but don't die because I need all the lives for later. What I had to do was get Luigi here, then bounce on a bomb, grab it and bounce on Luigi, somehow don't take damage even though I'm holding the bomb, and blow up the blocks, and create another chain of people and bombs to get everyone up top safely. Then it was pretty chill. I just had to take Mario and Luigi up here from Blode, then bring Yod up and bounce Mario and Luigi up here for a bomb, then do the same thing with Yod. Take Mario and Luigi up, then it's tricky again. I have to keep moving Mario on this conveyor, then kill Luigi and bounce Blode up, but also dodge spells, because of course, why not? Then bounce everybody but Yod up and kill Blode. Then bounce Luigi up, then Luigi again, then pop Mario and carry Luigi all the way to the end, where there isn't even a boss fight. After beating that level, you get to actually go inside the tower for the next level. Molten Airship. The most interesting part of this level was the broken texture here at the end, Bowser's Castle. And with that, it appears that our journey is coming to a close with the final level. But don't click off yet, this one's a good one. I literally one-shot it, and it was one of the easiest levels in the game, which I guess is anticlimactic, but I guess I'll hit this convenient switch and, oh, it's not over. That's right, there's a whole second half to World 8 that I completely forgot existed. Underground Railroad. This level starts off pretty simple, but look at that epic spin I did. Only problem, I accidentally killed the bonsai bill, which is the only way for me to progress. Whoops. Alright, I did it this time and I reached the checkpoint. Oh my gosh, why can the train ride on lava? That doesn't seem very realistic. The rest of the level was pretty easy, with some regular platforming, but this was the best save I've ever done. Volcano Rapids. This level was super easy and I one-shot it. Yeah, this is like the 5th to last level, and it was one of the easiest. Magma Works Factory. This level was actually tricky. For the first part, I threw Luigi up top, then did some really tight platforming to barely live. Then I had to do some slightly less tight platforming to reach the checkpoint. Then there was a section with some jumps over lava and some chain walls, but the fire guy right before was actually way harder than both combined. Then the level was over. Pendulum Tower. Oh, you thought my joke about putting hard tower after hard tower was over? Nope, we got another one, baby. You know, I'm so sick of the game throwing impossible level after impossible level, just with the glimmer of hope that one day I'll beat that level and move on to the next impossible level. And boy was I so done with towers at the end of this game, so let's just get into it. Oh, there's really fast lava rising and magic spell balls are constantly being thrown at me. You know, maybe it'd be better to go touch grass or something. Oh wait, it's winter. Guess I'll have to beat this level. To start, bring in 3 people and bounce both Mario and Luigi up to this platform. It's better to leave Yod at the bottom since he's gonna die anyways. Then bounce Mario up to this part, sacrifice Luigi, then pop Yod because you planned this really good. Barely jump up to this platform when it's at its lowest point, then pop and bounce on Luigi. Then kill Luigi, throw and bounce on Yod, and kill Yod. Now dodge this chain chomp and get Mario up to the pendulum and pop Luigi. Wait for Yod, then bounce on him and throw Luigi, then jump up these platforms to a safe spot. Pop Mario and use him as a shield to block that spell, then throw Mario up. Now jump up to this problem. Beg the bubble gods that the bubble won't go in crazy directions. Grab Luigi and bounce on Yod, then throw Luigi. Bounce up 2 platforms with Yod, realize that you can't reach the platform with 1 person, and barely dodge the lava while bringing Mario up. Barely dodge that chain chomp and get Yod over here faster than Fast and Furious 2. Pop Luigi and frantically jump up to this platform, accidentally killing Yod in the process. Pop Mario and bounce up to the next platform, climb the rope, and oh my goodness, you're only halfway. Only freaking halfway. Breathe a sigh of relief and death reset to get everyone to 5 lives. Then bring in everyone's favorite neglected mushroom, Blode, into the level. Grab Yod and bring him up to the pipe. Send him through, but only after killing Blode since he's practically useless for the first part. After going through the pipe, bring Yod up here, then have Mario bounce on him, then grab the rope with Yod to bounce up to this pendulum, and up this rope to this nice little area. Time it right to get 4 1-ups, and it doesn't matter how many you give to Mario or Luigi, just give them some. I went with 2 and 2. Yeet Luigi up here, then pop Yod and chaotically wait for Mario and Luigi to do the exact same strategy you've been doing for 2 weeks to get Mario and Luigi up here, then Luigi up there. Pop Yod and Mario, run here and pop Bloat, then jump here. Throw Yod up, then jump on the stump to get Mario up. While you do that, kill Bloat so that Luigi will go up to Mario instead of to Bloat. Grab Luigi and barely bounce and throw Luigi up to the higher part of the chocolate, then pop Yod with Bloat and bounce Bloat up to a platform. Make a chain reaction of Mario and Luigi, bouncing them up higher, then do a sick move with Mario to bounce on Bloat and a Dry Bones to get them up together. Then pop and bounce on Yod, throw Luigi up to the giant bones dude, then pop Bloat and Mario, and bounce Luigi up to the boss door. Oh my goodness! You better pause that game because holy crap, this might be the new hardest level. Now, the boss fight is just a standard boss fight against Kamek, which isn't that hard, it's just kinda stupid random. But with that, we are home free. Not actually, but the rest of the game is so much easier from here on out. Since I haven't played this game in years and I've only played it once, I didn't know which level was going to take me to the end faster. I tried Eruption Crater, but deemed it impossible because of the 100-second timer, so I had to play 8-A, Dragon Ride Fire Sea. As long as you dodge Luigi's bubble, since he will cause the screen to not scroll and you'll die, you'll make it through unscathed. And luckily, 8-A does take you to the final level. Bowser's Keep. This is it. But actually, my journey through New Super Mario Bros. Wii and newer Super Mario Bros. Wii have prepared me so much for this level. The whole level takes place on an elevator, where in order to progress, you have to play some little rooms to get to a switch. The first room had these blocks that if you touched them, they would have Bowser statues shoot lasers at you. Pretty easy. The second room was platforming on the really unstable rock platforms with bonefishes coming out of the lava to kill you. Also pretty easy. The third room was some more platforming with those weird ball things from Super Mario World, but it was also pretty easy. Wait, that was it. Like, that's the whole level. It's just the boss fight against Bowser? That's so anticlimactic. Well, after a very familiar pathway leading to a bridge over troubled lava, it might just be me, but I think I cheesed the fight a little bit. Just watch. But all great boss fights need a phase 2, so there we go. Now time for phase 2. But for phase 2, you're in a clown car, and you can't jump, so it's obviously possible. So this means that yes, it is possible to beat newer Super Mario Bros. Wii without jumping. So while this plays in the background, I just want to thank you all for watching, if you even got this far. But I also want to thank you for all the support on my last no jump video, and hopefully this one, because you guys are what keeps me going through stuff like this. Thank you for everything, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.